everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to share with you guys how to make this hot chocolate bombs. They are super trending and last week we went overboard making them, so I decided to share them with you. I'll be using 3 types of chocolate. I did one with the white Ghirardelli chocolate and then some regular candy melts or wafers in a green colored in white. I'm going to put them in the microwave for 30 seconds and then take them out, mix them a little bit, and then put them in for another 30 seconds. You got to make sure that they are well melted. You can see in here the Ghirardelli chocolate, it's not melted enough, so you kind of have to mix it until it's all combined and melted. I'll also be using 3 types of spoon. All of them are silicone. I am using a spatula, a regular spoon, and also a brush. Last week, like I said, I've been working on how to make them a little bit easier for me, and I've tried all of these options, which you can also use the regular spoon, but for me personally, the regular spoon didn't work that well. It does work, but you kind of have to do 2 coats, and I was trying to make it easier to make it only 1 coat because eventually you're going to put it in a cup, and what you want to see is that you want the chocolate bomb to pop open like fast and not take forever. So if you put too much chocolate in, it would eventually crack open, but it's going to take a while. I'm taking my time on putting the chocolate, making sure that the entire mold is covered with the chocolate. And then I did cut my silicone molds individually. I did try to use the molds all together, but it's a little bit easier if you do them individually, and plus when you take them out of the mold, it's much easier as well. Move the chocolate around and making sure that the entire mold is covered with the chocolate, especially in the top edges, because once you pop them out of the mold, you want to have an even layer in order to make the sphere. Once you're satisfied with the chocolate in the mold, just make sure to go back in with the same brush and make sure that you have the entire mold covered with chocolate. While that is setting in there, let's move on to the next mold, and I'm using the spatula, the pointy part of it, and doing the same process, just going with a thin layer all around. The idea in here, like I said, is that you don't want to have a thick layer or a thin layer. You kind of want to be in the middle. And while that is setting, now we're going to move on to our gift present. The only thing is that I'm going to share with you how to make a thin layer to cover the bottom part, because you don't want to have a big present, and it's kind of hard to make 2 presents and then put them together. So I'll be sharing with you what I'm going to do to cover the present, and I'm doing the same process in here. I'm going with a thin layer using the spoon, and it's a silicone spoon, and probably if you have like a present for a silicone mold or some silicone mold that has more of a shape, it's better to use the brush. Since it does have some bristles, it's easier to cover the entire shape of the mold. Now to cover the bottom part of the present, I'm going to make a thin layer of chocolate, put it in parchment paper and let it dry. You kind of want to have a thin layered, again, not too thin, because once you put it in the present, it's gonna be easier to break it if it's super thin, but you still don't want it too thick. You gotta have to be right in the middle, and then just put it in the fridge for about 3 minutes. I'm going to be using some marshmallows to put in the bombs, and also some chocolate abuelita, and also a champurrado mix. To take the chocolate out of the mold, you want to pull the edges super slowly, and little by little take the mold off the chocolate, not the chocolate of the mold, but the opposite way. And you can see that it comes out super easily. And this is why I do cut the molds, because it's easier this way. All I'm doing in here, it's just making the half sphere straight by putting it on a heat plate that I put in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And then you just fill it up with your favorite mixture. Again, on this one, I am using the chocolate abuelita and then a few mini marshmallows. We're going to do the same process to the other half sphere, taking it out of the mold by pulling the mold little by little away from the chocolate, and then just making it straight with the plate. That way, the one that it's already filled up with the mixture, it's already flat, but you want to have the other half flat. And since both of the half spheres are still hot, the chocolate, it's still melted, and it's going to be easier to bond them together. You want to press them super lightly, not too hard, otherwise you're going to break your chocolate. And then if you have any openings on the edges, all you have to do is just move the melted chocolate around and making sure that the little holes that you have are closed with the melted chocolate. Let's put that one on the side on a cupcake liner and do the same process to the white chocolate bomb. For our present, you can see that I am doing the same process. I'm pulling the mold away from the chocolate, but in here you have to be extra careful since it does have more shape around it. It's not smooth. Since it is a present, you can easily break the chocolate if you do it too hard. So you have to do it really slow until all the chocolate is away from the mold.
To give the gift of cheer. So come on in, come on up, come on over. We'll be singing all them songs. So
the process in here, it's a little bit different. You still have to make the present smooth by putting it on the heated platter and then just fill it up with the mixture that you want. And then while the present was still hot and the chocolate was melted, I did put the cover onto the present and just pressed on it until it was bonded. And all you have to do is just take out all the excess around the present. For this second present was a little bit different. You can see in here that the part that it's going to be covering the present, it's thin but not too thin. So in here I did it a little bit different. I'll be doing the same process, just taking the chocolate out of the mold and just making it straight with the hot plate and then filling it up with your favorite mixture. On this one I did put some champurrado, and then for the bottom part, as you can see in here, I put it on the plate and let it melt it on the bottom part and then just place it into the present. In my opinion, this worked a little bit better. You can still see some of the mixture a little bit out, but it was already dry because it did dry out with once the chocolate was dry. And do the same process, just take out all the excess around the present, but still be careful not to break the present itself. And all you have to do is just decorate it, making them a little bit more prettier and festive. And all I did is just put the rest of the melted chocolate into a ziploc bag and just put some straight lines like you guys can see in here. I am doing it in a really slow motion. Add some sprinkles or whatever else you want to add on top. I do have some candy canes. You can put those on the present and then just put them on a cupcake liner, and that is it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, subscribe if you're not part of the family yet. And don't forget to tag me over on Instagram if you recreate something like this. I am really obsessed with these chocolate bombs. They are super trendy and they are perfect for the holidays or just on a cozy night. We are only 2 days till Christmas. Happy holidays. I hope you enjoy your Christmas day with your family. I know that this year it's going to be completely different, but as long as we are together with our families and have health, that it's what it matters. Happy holidays, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
To ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh,